As the U.S. government shutdown drags into its third week, America's capital is beginning to feel the freeze. Big screens go dark, zoo gates clang shut, and even the country's disease detectives are caught in the crossfire. The Smithsonian museums and the National Zoo, the crown jewels of Washington's culture, have shut their doors. 19 museums, one zoo, all closed since Sunday, October 12th. In a post on X, the Smithsonian wrote, "Due to the government shutdown, Smithsonian museums are temporarily closed beginning on Sunday, October 12, along with our research centers and the National Zoo." They'd managed to stay open for 11 days using leftover funds, but that cushion's gone. The Smithsonian says its research centers and live animal cams are offline too. The animals, though, will still be fed and cared for. It's déjà vu for Washington. The last major shutdown in 2018 to 19 also kept the museums open for 11 days before the money dried up. The human cost is biting. Roughly 1.4 million federal employees are either furloughed or working without pay. More than 4,000 federal workers received layoff notices on Friday alone. And yet, the political standoff over healthcare subsidies shows no signs of thawing. 12 days into the shutdown, Republicans and Democrats are still miles apart.
There's some headlines I brought you this morning. I just want you to hear what's being said about this. CNN headline from yesterday, quote, "Democrats say even missed paychecks for U.S. troops won't be enough to end the shutdown alone." For many of them, this is about showing a fight to President Trump. They have to show a fight against Republicans so they can appease who? The far left base of their party. It is shameful. And for what? Chuck Schumer, the architect of this shutdown, is trying to bow to the Marxist wing of his party. You heard him yesterday. He said in his own words, every day of the shutdown, he said, quote, "gets better for us." Better for who, Chuck? For the Democrats in the Senate? So you can bow to the Marxist base and not get a challenge? Here's another headline from Politico yesterday. Quote, "Chuck Schumer's critics are satisfied." Yeah, the far left base of the party is satisfied. They don't mind. The troops go without pay and civilian workers are furloughed. They don't care. Former DNC chair David Hogg, he heaped praise on Chuck Schumer as well. This is what Chuck Schumer was after. This is what he desires. The praise from the far left. David Hogg said, quote, "Give credit where credit's due. This is a big step up." A big step up. While you're delaying flights, while you're making people go through this pain.
It's clear from today's vote and yesterday and 2 days ago's vote and the two other votes before it. So the bottom line is we've had 4 votes and they haven't gotten the votes on any of them. We have asked Republican leaders for months to sit down and talk with us. They've refused and barreled us into a shutdown. They thought they could bludgeon us and threaten us and scare us. It ain't working because my caucus and Democrats are adamant that we must protect the health care of the American people. And so now, rather than working with us to end the pain Americans are feeling because of a shutdown, Republicans have instead, they've wasted a week, refused to talk, and exacerbated pain for America. Instead of trying to come to the table and negotiate with Democrats and reopen the government, the White House and fellow Republicans have vowed to make this a maximum pain shutdown, they call it. Unfortunately, the maximum pain falls on the American people, and the American people know it. They know it's not Democrats doing this maximum pain. It's vote and Trump and the Republicans. And so it falls on them. And so even in the White House and in the administration, there are people saying, don't do it, because the blame correctly will fall on Trump's shoulders. They're using the American people as political pawns. Why? Because they don't want to even talk to us about reopening the government by fixing health care. New data came out today from KFF. And that is not Kentucky Fried French fries. KFF could be Kentucky French fries. Nah.
Kaiser family.
I know. Orange. Excuse me. Today, new data came out from KFF, the Kaiser Family Foundation, that said that 78% of Americans say Congress should extend the ACA tax credits. 60% of people who voted for Trump said extend the tax credits. And so the Trump administration is feeling it. They know there's trouble. And let me read you a headline from this morning's Wall Street Journal that I thought was very apt and very well written. Raise your hand if any of you wrote it. You get kudos. It says, White House senses political risk on health care despite shutdown bravado. They know that the American people are for it. They know that 60% of MAGA supporters are for it. And why? Well, because if these credits are not extended, listen to this, the average couple who's 55, the average 55-year-old couple making $85,000 a year would see their premiums not just double, but go up $25,000. You're a couple at 55, you're about to think of your retirement. How the hell are you going to find $25,000 a year for your health care? Do you know what anguish that causes people? It's not just something that goes away. People sit there and agonize. How are they going to get health care, which they need so much? What are they going to cut? Republicans hold the House, the Senate, and the White House. They're in charge. American people know that. And the American people know that it's only smart and fair and right that they should negotiate with us if they want our votes, not do a partisan bill. They wrote it all with no Democratic input and say, just vote for it, take it or leave it. According to NBC today, Americans are more inclined to blame Trump and Republicans for a shutdown, according to 4 independent polls. Any of you NBC people wrote that headline? It's a good one. Republicans know it. They know the damage they're causing, and Americans are noticing. And what's their response? A vow to cause maximum damage. That maximum damage is to American families, and American families know it. What's their response? When they didn't get the votes today or 3 times before? We'll see. Maybe they'll have a change of course. That would be a very good thing if they came and sat down and negotiated with us. And their second response is to just lie. They're so afraid of the truth that they make up lies. Here's PolitiFact when they say, oh, the Democrats want to give the money to undocumented immigrants. Here's PolitiFact. J.D. Vance said, Democrats are threatening to shut down the entire government because they want to give hundreds of billions of dollars to health care to benefit illegal aliens. What does PolitiFact say? False. And I hope you'll all write that over and over again, because if they're going to tell the lie over and over and over again, it's the responsibility of all of us to say it's a lie over and over and over again. Undocumented people cannot and will not receive a premium tax credit by federal law. The federal government does not fund health insurance for undocumented immigrants in Medicaid, Medicare, or Social Security by law. Republicans know it. They lie about it. When I was with the White House with Johnson, he said it. I was sitting there. I said, that's bull. And he didn't say it isn't. He just smirked. That's what they do. And when you lie about it, it shows fundamental weakness, because you know where the American people are. When they're confronted with the truth, they cover it up with a lie. But unfortunately for them, the truth doesn't lie. And as I mentioned, this chart shows what a high percentage of Americans want us to extend the ACA subsidies for health insurance. 71 to 29. And it shows you that's why it's so high, because even 60% of Trump voters want to extend it. So Americans want lower costs. Americans want to extend the tax cuts. Many of my Republican colleagues want that too. So it's simple. They can reopen the government and make people's health care more affordable at the same time. And the only people making it a choice between one and the other, between health care and opening up the government, to the Republicans. We're not. We say we can do both.
Late Friday night, The cuts spread to the nation's health front lines. At the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, hundreds of staff were laid off in a late-night email blitz. Disease detectives, outbreak forecasters, and policy experts, gone overnight. But by Saturday, around 700 employees were reinstated after incorrect notifications, but 600 remain out. Among the reinstated, staff who published the CDC's flagship Morbidity and Mortality Weekly Report. All this as America heads into the winter virus season. President Donald Trump says his administration has identified funds to make sure U.S. troops are paid on October 15th, even if the shutdown continues. Trump wrote on Truth Social, "We have identified funds to do this, and Secretary Hegseth will use them to pay our troops." The money will come from the Pentagon's research and development accounts, a rare workaround that taps two-year-old funds. At a Navy event last week, Trump reassured service members that, "We will get our service members every last penny. Don't worry about it."
As your commander-in-chief, I will always stand for you. I promise you that. You know that. That's why you voted for me in numbers that nobody's ever seen before. And I want you to know that despite the current Democrat-induced shutdown, we will get our service members every last penny. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Do not worry about it. It's all coming. It's coming. And even more because I'm supporting the across-the-board pay raises for every sailor and service member of the United States Armed Forces.
From museum halls to military barracks to airline delays, America's shutdown paralysis is rippling through every layer of government. The world's biggest bureaucracy, stalled by a budget fight now running into its third week. And until Congress reaches a deal, the closed signs stay up, the paychecks stay paused, and the Smithsonian panda cams stay dark.